The number of civilian casualties in Libya following NATO bombardments has led Italy to press for an immediate halt to hostilities from the strikes. While the alliance expresses regret over the deaths, its bombs still fall on those it said to protect. RT's Irina Galushko reports on whether NATO has trapped itself in a conflict it can no longer escape.
Civilian deaths in Libya are at last making news on Western news networks.
NATO has acknowledged that a number of civilians may have been killed in an airstrike last night.
Well, NATO says it regrets the loss of innocent lives and admits a weapons malfunction may have caused civilian deaths in Tripoli.
NATO acknowledged that one of its airstrikes went off course last night in Tripoli and may be to blame for civilian casualties.
The operation has been going on for 3 months, and according to Libyan officials, hundreds of civilians have already been killed by NATO bombs. So why has it taken so long for the major TV networks and newspapers to report on the carnage?
Because the big problem with our media, our mass media nowadays, is not that they're left-wing, right-wing, it's just that they go along with whomever is in power. And the whole idea of critical reporting is gone.
And it's not just media noticing that something is going wrong with the involvement in Libya. Italy, a NATO member, has already lost faith in the operation. In fact, Rome has called for an end to all military activity and to allow aid in.
France and Britain have, however, dismissed the calls for cessation in NATO's relentless pounding of Libya. NATO is acting under a UN resolution to protect civilians, but many believe the alliance's main aim has always been to oust Colonel Gaddafi. Some European politicians from countries backing the campaign say that's not the job for NATO, but for the Libyan people to decide.
The British public don't really understand why we've been taken into these wars, and yes, indeed, why are we bombing them? Now, Colonel Gaddafi is a murderous, vicious dictator, and the world and Libya would be better off without him. But is it our business to go in there and bomb him out of office? If the Libyans want to have a revolution and get rid of him, then good luck to them.
Others believe the longer the attacks on Libya continue, the more difficulties for NATO and its political backers.
The only exit option of NATO was to say we will leave when Colonel Gaddafi will leave. If Colonel Gaddafi is killed or if Colonel Gaddafi leaves the power on his own, okay, for NATO they will have an option to exit. But if not, the point is they will have to exit without achieving nothing, which will be for NATO and especially for London and for Paris, it will be politically disastrous.
NATO's admission of killing civilians in recent days may have made the headlines back home, but the expressions of regret have not been felt on the ground in Libya, unlike the Western bombs and missiles, which continue to fall, killing those the alliance says it's there to protect. In Brussels, Irina Galushko, RT.